G'day, Ben from Melbourne here, and Happy New Year, you filthy animals. Good to see you all out there. You. Love yous. Hope you had a great festive season, or as I like to call it, crimbo, and had a relaxing bit of time off. If not, I hope you got some coming up. Can't believe we're already into 2023. And it feels like it was only 12 months ago that we did Rob's vinyl tag. What do you know, it is. Okay, let's get right into it because we don't want this to go for a long time. That's my New Year's resolution, to try and tighten up the videos. Not working so far, but let's try and see if we can get back on track. All right, first question. Favorite new release of 2022 would be the mighty Split System with their album Volume 1, debut record that seemingly come out of nowhere. It's recommended to me by the great Richie from Strange World Records. If you love your Saints and fun things with a little bit of a hardcore attitude, not the sound of hardcore, but a bit more of that you know what I'm talking about. Fantastic record. Not an ounce of fat on this baby. Yeah, my record of the year. Just unexpected gem. Next up, we have list a band or solo artist you saw live or last saw live. For me, it was in December. I saw the mighty King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. This is one of their 3 new records that come out in October last year. This is Ice, Death, Planets, Lungs, Mushrooms, and Lava. They played a hell of a lot off this, and let me tell you, it was mind-meltingly awesome. Great live band. I'm sure they're playing in your backyard soon. Go check them out. Amazing stuff. Now this one's the first album is the best. And I have to show 2 because I couldn't decide. I'd have to say first Radio Birdman, Radios Appear. Can't really go past an album that opens with TVI and Murder City Nights. And ends with New Race. What a record. The other one, which you're going to say technically it's not, but it is Roland's first solo record, which took him a long time. Took him until 1999, and this is just incredible. Love his second and last record, but this is the one. Okay, a hat trick. Show the vinyl, CD, and cassette of an album. Okay, I could actually do this. Bit of the old TNT. Bit more of the old TNT. And yet more of the old TNT. Yeah, the way the cover's supposed to look. What have we got next? Show an album that starts and ends with the same letter. So I'm going to go with the Hard-Ons and their album Yummy. Forget about that exclamation mark. See? Why? Yummy. Or as I like to say, yummo, when I have a nice meal. Rightio, Born on the Same Day as Me. This was tough because I don't usually know that kind of stuff, so I had to do a little cheat on the interwebs. And I found that Glenn Richards, the lead man of Augie March, is born on the same year as me, not day, but year. That was the best I could do. I only got this bad boy on CD. This is their debut album, Sunset Studies. Fantastic record. Check them out. Right. My most listened to album of 2022 would have to be Black Cab's Rotzler's Rules. This is the one if you want to fill the dance floor or you just want to groove around in your ugly pants in your lounge room. Killer. Electronic, cold European new wave influenced banger. Whoa, that fell a long way. Let's hope it's all right. All right, next is, where am I up to? Most listened to artists of 2022. Well, this would have to be Nick Cave with his album Carnage and Ghosteen. Saw him twice last year too, and probably wasn't as up on these two as I should be, so I really buckled down and listened to these a lot, and these have become up there with, some of my favourite stuff by him, and that's saying something, because I got them all. No, that's not my answer for a later question. Right. The joke question. An Australian artist. By the way, all of these have been Australian, but I thought I'd show something special. It is the mighty Purple Hearts with their single Early in the Morning, backed with the absolute killing, banging mania of Just a Little Bit. Also, on what I would think is one of the earliest Australian independent labels called Sunshine. Track this song down. I don't know if you'll be able to get this actual 7-inch, because according to Ghana, the doyen, the maestro of the 7-inch, not even he has seen one. Don't ask me who I had to kill to get that. Right, while we're talking the great man Ghana, surprising purchase of 2022. This is surprising for a couple of reasons. This is a great Australian compilation called It's a Cave-In, which I was unaware of. It is a lot of bands I don't know from the 60s, a lot of great garage rock as you'd expect, but the great little surprise for me was when I was reading the liner notes and I saw that one of the contributors was the great Australian writer, who's sadly now passed, music writer that is Ed Nimmervold. And why that is surprising is because I have a connection to Ed. He used to come and see my band quite a bit through the guy who sang and played guitar in my band. We were friends with his daughter, and that's how we got to know Ed. I think she was a former student. Lovely, lovely man. So that was a nice surprise. Like, such a great comp. Also had liner notes by the great Ed Nimmervold. Right, next, an artist you complete on. Now, I've already done a King Gizzard video showing everything I got. I've got another one, long promised, coming up at some stage to fill in the blanks of last year. And I've got all the Nick Cave ones, but I'm going to do a video on that at some point too. So I'm taking this as just studio albums, because if it was like 7 inches and live stuff, and no one's got everything of everyone, stray tracks from compilations and blah. So I'm just going to go with, studio. And when I say studio, I use that word loosely. I've got all of Eddie Current and Suppression Ring's album, the first self-titled one. It's like I have to have Roland S. Howard on every show. I've got to mention Mikey Young on every show, the great guitarist for Eddie Current. So their second record, Primary Colours. Their third record, Rush to Relax, which was their last. But then the comp called So Many Things, featuring lots of stray cuts, double album, A-sides, B-sides, demos, you name it. Beautiful cover. And then, many years later, got back together, released this bad boy, All in Good Time. We did have to wait all in good time for good things. So I know that's only 5, but hey, I can bore you to tears with big collections in other videos. Right. A great run of 3 albums. Well, I could have went for the first 3 or from 2 to 4, if you know what I'm saying. So it's the B Suburban with their first record, Axeman's Jazz, followed by the mighty Sour Mash, and then Black Milk. I chose these first 3 because this is the original lineup on all 3, but I quite easily could have went from these 2 to the Low Road, which was the one after Sour Mash. But all amazing records, and probably would be a good entry into the Grail one, because I just got this year on Green Records, which I believe is the original label this was on. Right, an 80s soundtrack. Now, this is probably not the kind of thing that most people are thinking of. I'm going with the very dark Ghost of the Civil Dead, the Australian film, which was scored by Nick Cave, Mick Harvey and Blixa Bargold. Yeah, Nick Cave has a small part in this, and as an actor, he makes a fantastic songwriter and singer. Next, the sad one. We lost them in 2022, so of course, Chris Bailey from the greatest band in the world, the Saints. And also, from our beautiful neighbours in New Zealand, we very recently lost the great Hamish Kilgore from The Clean. Pick up everything by all of those bands and everything those people have done. They were brilliant and probably deserved a lot more attention in their lifetimes. Sadly, gone. Right, what next? Disappointing purchase in 2022. Well, I had a pretty good run this last year. Can't say I had any actual disappointing records, which fell flat. A lot of good ones. So what I'm going to go with is I don't know why I've got the original Hot, Died Pretty, but I bought the remastered reissue. And I don't know if I just got a shit copy, but it sounds really ordinary to me. It's even got, like, on the long organ notes, it has a whirring sound, like it's, slowing down. It just doesn't sound right to me. Maybe if I get another copy, it might sound better. Who knows? But why do we do these things when we have a good copy already? Only you people out there understand. Right. A non-vinyl purchase. Well, a lot of people I noticed were showing books, but I'm gonna go one better than that. It's my AC/DC beer. Yes, of course it's empty. Bloody hell, beer just doesn't sit around in this house and have a good time. I do. Next, you found a grail. Really don't like that term grail, because it has religious connotations, and I'm just not one of those guys. I prefer to call it a thing I wanted that I haven't been able to find for a long time, and now I got it. Might be a bit of a mouthful. Far too long to think of an acronym, but that's what I'm calling it. But for me, just recently had a nice little holiday in Adelaide. Walked into a record store called Clarity Records and saw this baby on the wall. And I was like, you are coming home to Melbourne with me. That's right. A Mercury version of Buffalo Only Want You for Your Body. Absolute hard rock, psych Australian classic from the early 70s. Yes. Look at this. Don't you want to dress like that? Great record, great band. I believe there's like a reissue thing by a label called Arkhama, but they're pretty hard to find too. So that was awesome. Now, a space-themed album sleeve or song. of course, Hoodoo Gurus, Mars Needs Guitars. There they are, rocking on the red planet. That's as pretty spacey as I can think of. And if you don't like that, what about the Thought Criminals? Yeah, speed madness, flying saucers, and some dystopian stuff going on there, which I'm sure is in space. Oh, we're winding up now. Show some VCLT or a present. Well, I mentioned him before because he is the man, the great Garner from Born Out of Time. Not once, but twice has sent me packages of absolute banging classic garage 7 inches. What a generous man. These are obviously not Australian, but that's why he sent them to me, because you don't really see these things over here. So what do we got? Yardbirds, For Your Love. The Trogs, Can't Control Myself. Trashman, Surfing Bird. The Standells, Dirty Water. How good is this stuff? Standells, Sometimes Good Guys Don't Wear White. What do we got? Paul Revere and the Raiders, Just Like Me. I know, Stepping Out, that's just like me. Love, 7 and 70s. A Well-Respected Man by the Mighty Kinks. Shout out to the great Mike PC31, the Vinyl Policeman. Big Kinks man in a Kinks tribute band. And the all-time classic Louie Louie by the Kingsmen. Alright, last question. Show an album released in 1973. Well, kids, the Coloured Balls with their hard rockin' masterpiece called Ball Power. Yeah. And if that's not good enough, what about the 7-inch of the same year, Flash? Alright, those are some hefty original skinhead mullets on the front there. Lobby looks particularly charming in that one. Alright, that's it. That was fun. Good to be back. Got a few things coming up. Going to do a couple of best of top 5s here and there. Anyway, we'll see you in the comments, and take care, look after yourselves, and keep on rocking, brothers and sisters.